Today on Drawbli,
I am making my regular art into Overwatch fan art.
hey, I'm Ben.
And I'm Abby.
And we're self-taught artists documenting our drawing adventures because drawing is better with friends.
Yeah, so click that subscribe button if you're new around here.
Subscribe, and don't forget to check out our guidebook on daily drawing linked below. Abby, how did you turn your, quote, regular art into fan art? What does that even mean, regular art?
Well, it just
Regular
means
art.
Regular, just based strictly off the reference.
Okay.
And then I adjusted it. And this was just a random image that I saw on the internet, and it was on a desktop in front of me. So that's why you don't see it here.
Oh my gosh.
I told myself I was going to do what I saw in a recent Proco video.
Is that what this #1 gesture thing over here is?
Yeah, I ended up taking a pretty lackadaisical approach to this.
Fair.
But it was a stream he did on preparing for longer pieces of art, which I've talked about recently.
I remember you telling me about this. Yes.
So it's a little bit slower, but
The process involves like redrawing the thing multiple times.
Yeah, I think I don't really have the spirit of it down yet at all, but I figure there's only one way to get there eventually is to start and practice. So this first pass is the gesture pass, trying to figure out where all the flowy lines are and see what points towards one another. And
so with each pass, you start over from the beginning, right?
Yeah.
You essentially redraw it multiple times, or at least that's the basic idea. Okay, I see. So first was gesture and then form.
Yeah, again, I think I have the idea of it down. I just don't have the execution that well here.
That is fair, yeah.
But, it never hurts. One more iteration, right? So this was an image of just two models in a model-esque pose that after I'd been working on for a while, I decided that the one on the right, and it was also kind of shaping up to be like, I wasn't sure if I liked the art too. So I was like, well, that kind of looks like Moira. And
from Overwatch.
Yeah, and I've seen a lot of cute TikToks that feature kind of like the adventures of Moira and Mercy together from Overwatch. So I thought it'd be cute and fun to draw these characters, draw these two models with little modifications to make them look slightly more.
And this is not the first time you have turned something else into Overwatch fan art.
Yeah, just little hints of it.
I think you have Overwatch on the brain quite often.
Well, it's all your fault. I never had a video game, and then you said, come download this.
Abby never played a video game before I came along.
I did, not as an adult. Not really. And I love it. It's so nice.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun.
It is a lot of fun. Where have they been my whole life? I never played an
video
FPS.
Games been?
So unfortunately, my iPad was super full of all this footage. And so on the very final pass at this, where I go in and add hair and color to the clothing and hand.
We don't get to see?
You'll get to see a final image.
Okay.
But I think you get to see most of the process for painting quote-unquote Moira, the one on the right.
So I have a question.
Yeah.
Does your painting process involve your lines with this piece, or is it done separately?
It does involve my lines, but I want to say they're kind of painted over.
Does it help to do this process, you think? Did you find it helpful or educational in any way?
I think it helped me a lot to be able to redraw certain areas that were problematic for me, like the lips. Specifically, I think I still struggle for some reason with mouth placement and lips quite a bit. So yeah, it did help. It did help, if nothing else, to make me keep trying on the parts that I was just really struggling with. Here we do a shadow pass. Anywhere I saw really dark in the image, I just went in there and made it dark here.
I like that.
Yeah. I
like there's so many different things going on here in terms of gesture study, form study, and now value study. So all the studies.
Yes.
I tend to focus more on one thing at a time because my brain, very small, can only fit one thing at a time.
Well, this is also one thing at a time.
No, that's true.
Yeah.
I'm talking about this week I will do X.
Yeah. Well, I was pretty inspired by the video I saw. Sometimes I forget how important it is to go and watch and learn from
absolutely.
somebody just for a little while, even just to get one new idea in my head to focus on for the week, which in this case was try redrawing it, having a different focus each time.
I've been watching more art artsy, not necessarily educational videos, but one of the things I have found the most helpful over time, specifically with sculpting, to improve is watching other artists sculpt.
Mm-hmm.
There's not like a ton of like really high level sculptors on YouTube, but there are a ton of really high level 2D artists on YouTube.
Mm-hmm.
So there's a lot that I can watch and just see their process, and like I don't even need them to talk. I just need to like watch their decision making and be like, oh, that's interesting. I've never done that. I should try that. And it could be something incredibly small, like, oh, they added this extra line under the eye, and I'm like, ooh, I need to do that.
I actually, when I go into color this, I was very inspired by just even a reel I saw by Art with Loris, where she goes in with these big block colors and then uses a Gaussian blur to just have this basic...
Oh, yeah.
Have you seen that reel?
I have. She does that for all of her art.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know what you were talking about at first, but yes, I have seen that, and I did that on my Geralt.
Oh, yeah?
Did you see me do that? Like, I did a gradient. So you blur and it creates like a gradient of color.
Yeah, so I tried it here for the first time after after the lines, I guess.
Yeah.
And again, I don't know how much exactly will be cut but I think we get all these lines in, and at least a very small amount of color. And definitely I think the head on the right, which is the one I liked the best anyway. This one I worked on for a while, but it was kind of like the second runner-up in this show. Oh, we have a bounce forward here. Like I said, I was having a lot of footage issues this week.
Would you be like in the middle of recording and it would just be like, iPad fool, goodbye footage?
It only happened like twice, and I thought I had it fixed the first time, but clearly not. So, doing the best I can. But I liked how these lines turned out. This was my line work pass, and I tried really hard to make it halfway decent. I erased slightly the tips of the fingers on that hand to try to get that more gentle taper.
Yeah, you did mention that in one of our previous videos. That's cool. That is definitely something that you can do with like depth of field with your lines. Obviously line weight, but just like fading out your lines in terms of value as well, which is not something I have experimented with a lot personally, but I really like that. That's cool. I'm a big fan.
Yeah.
Might have to try that.
Give it a shot.
And that's my line practice. So many different things to practice. That's why I have found watching other artists work so helpful and inspiring.
There's the big gradient shift, for better or for worse.
It became a little mud colored.
It really did. But I was like, I think this is it. I think I got it.
All colors merged to brown.
But we went for it,
It's about trying. Sometimes it's not about the execution. It's about trying.
Yeah, and this whole piece is really about trying. Oh, another big jump. I'm so sorry.
No, you do not need to be sorry, but that is very cool to see. I think these look really awesome.
Yeah, I realized in the end that I really needed to add a little bit more depth, like form to the back of quote-unquote Moira's head. But other than that, I was pretty pleased with how the head on the right turned out.
I think this looks super cool. I think you should be really proud of this.
Thank you.
I am a fan.
Oh, an Overwatch fan.
Yes, I am an Overwatch fan, but I'm also a fan of your style, and I love watching it develop and change and grow, and it's always really fun to just like see how much like we've grown, but like also how we're experimenting and trying new things, and it's just so cool to see it all change and develop. And I think it will be inspiring for a lot of people, especially when we're at a much more advanced stage, to be able to flip back to a video like this. Like, maybe 10 years from now, somebody's watching this and they're like, wow, like, it's so crazy to see like where Abby started versus where she is now.
I would love that to be the case for somebody. Like, if that could be something that helps somebody else in their journey, then it's all worth it,
But if I painted something this beautiful, I would be ecstatic.
Aw, I did not know how to paint Mercy's hair. I tried so many times. You don't see the footage because I lost it, but it's all for the best because it was like,
in quotes,
repeated attempts,
aka deleted,
of just like blah, blah.
That's awesome. No, I think you did a really great job on this.
Thank you. And I thought I really like the Moira on the right. I love doing that one.
I love the style of both of these. And if you like our style, click that like and subscribe button and check out our guidebook linked below.
Share your work on Instagram with #Drawbli because drawing is better with friends.
And this is the part where we say
goodbye.
Goomba. These are super cool. You should be very proud, lost footage and all.
I like their ears.
I like their ears.